Hello, everyone. Hope all of you are doing great. And in today's video, we're going to discuss the workbook lesson 2.1, which is all about substituting into expressions. The first thing that we're going to do over here is this focus exercise, which is actually kind of like guided. It's almost answered for you. They're just showing you how you're supposed to handle such a question. So, for example, here, the first question says to you 2x plus 3 when x is equal to 10. So what we're supposed to do is that I remove the x and I write 10. 2x means 2 times x, which means 2 times 10. So 2 times 10 plus 3, we have to start first with multiplication. So it's 20 plus 3, which is 23. Same thing exactly with the next question here. X over 2 means x is divided by 2, which is 10 divided by 2, 5 minus 4 is 1. Here, you need to square the x first, then you multiply by 4. So squaring the x means 10 squared, which is 100. Then you multiply by 4, which is 400. The next one over here, it means they are requesting from you that you finish the bracket first. So it is 10 plus 2, which is 12. Then you multiply it by 3 at the end, which is going to give us 36. The second question here, they're telling you match each expression A to F with the correct value I to VI when A is 8 and B is 4. So let's do this. Here they're telling you that A, they said is 8, so 8 plus 4, which is 12. So it's triple I. And then A minus B, which is 8 minus 4, which is V. 8 minus 4 is 4, which is V. A times B, which means 8 times 4, which is 32. 32 is I. A over B, which means 8 divided by 4, which is 2, which is VI. But B over A, which means 4 divided by 8, 4 over 8. You need to simplify this fraction. Divided by 4 up, divided by 4 down. It's going to give you 1 over 2. It's a half, which is II. 2 multiplied by A, which means 2 multiplied by 8, 16. 16 plus 4 is going to become 20. So this is 2 multiplied by 8. Then you add 4. 16 plus 4 is 20, which is IV. Next question over here, they're telling you they almost did it for you. So 6 plus negative 2. What is 6 plus negative 2? We agreed that we cannot add it if we have two different signs or two signs in front of a number. So rewrite it. It's 6 minus 2. Positive negative means negative. So 6 minus 2, which is 4. Here, there are two signs in the middle. I need to fix them. So negative negative is positive. So 6 plus 2, which is 8. Here, I need to fix this first. Negative 2 squared, we agreed, squared, the answer of anything that is squared is always positive 4. 6 squared is 36, which is going to be 40. Here I need to multiply first. So 3 times 6 is 18. Positive negative becomes negative, negative 2. So 18 minus 2 is 16. 4 times negative 2, which is negative 8. And here I got 6 minus negative 8. 6 minus negative 8, which means 6 plus negative 8. 1 second. I think I lost concentration over here. It is 6 plus negative 8, which means 6 minus 8 in total. So 6 minus 8, which is going to give us 2. Here, 3 times 6 is 18. And 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. But positive negative 8 is minus 8, which is 10. So in this question, you're just practicing how to handle multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction of integers. When A is negative 3 and B is 5, so the answer is 2. A is negative 3, negative 3 squared plus 4. That gives us with 9 plus 4, which is 13. So 9 plus 4 is 13. All right. Here, 3 times negative 3, which is negative 9. minus 5 equals negative 14. 7 times b, which is 35. 7 times 5, 35 over 5, which is 7. Here, 20 minus a times b is negative 3 times 5, which is negative 15. Oh, mister, that means 20 plus 15, which is 35. The last question, b cubed, which is 5 cubed, 125, minus 25 equals 100. A plus 2b. A is 2 plus 2b is negative 6. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So 2 minus 6 is negative 4. We agreed positive negative turns into negative. BD means B times D, which is negative 12. Sorry, it's D. D is negative 5. So BD, negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15. Negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15. Minus 10, which is just 5. 4B, 4 times B, which is negative 12. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12, plus 2A, which is 4, negative 8. Question D. A times B plus C times D. A times B is negative 6, plus CD, C. 4, D is negative 5, which is negative 20. So it's equal to negative 26. Negative 26 is D. Okay. Here, question E, they're saying CD squared and plus AB. So C is actually 4 multiplied by D squared, which is positive 25, plus AB. A times B is negative 6. Plus negative 6 means just negative 6. So this is going to be 100 minus 6, which is 94. Question F. D over 2, which is negative 5 over 2, which is negative 2.5. Okay. Minus A, which means minus 2, which is negative 4.5. Again, this question, D over 2. D is negative 5. Negative 5 divided by 2 is negative 2.5. The half of negative 5 is negative 2.5. So negative 2.5 minus A, which is 2. So negative 2.5 minus 2, they have the same signs, then add. 2.5 and 2 is 4.5. The sign of the bigger number is negative. So negative 4.5. This is part of Malik's homework. Work out the value of each expression when x is negative 4 and y is negative 1. So this one here, x is negative 4. So it's negative 4 multiplied by y squared, which means negative 1 squared, which means positive 1, minus 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. So as if you're saying 3 times negative 4 is negative 12, so it's minus negative 12. How can we do this? I'm going to do first the multiplication. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, minus negative 12 means plus 12, which is positive 8. Next, x cubed, which is negative 4 cubed, which is negative 64, minus x is negative 4 over 2y. 2y means 2 times negative 2, which is negative 2, equals negative 64. I do the division first. Minus negative 4 over negative 2 gives you positive 2. So negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2, equals negative 64 minus 2 is negative 66. Okay, let's continue. Doesn't want to go down. Here we go. Oh, they told you here that they made a mistake. Check Malik's work if he has made any mistakes. And we've done it over here. We found that this is 8, this is 66. negative 66. So what is the mistake that he did over here? If you compare to what we've done up there, you're going to find that he did here negative 4 times 1. It's positive 1. We agreed. He did it positive 4. But it's negative 4 times 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. So this is negative 4. Okay? Then negative 4 plus 12 is positive 8. And that's what we did up there, positive 8. The other one in Malik's answer, he did negative 4 cubed, 64. And we agreed the cube keeps the sign the same. It is negative 64. So negative 64 minus 2, which is negative 66, like what we've done up there. So the mistake that he made is that he said negative 4 cubed is positive 64. It is negative 64. This is X, which means wrong. Okay? It's wrong. It's supposed to be negative 66. Next, the thing to hear the expression x cubed minus y has a value of 20. Write 3 pairs of integer values for x and y when x and y are both positive. So you're supposed to do here when x is positive and y is positive. What are the possible values of x and y that gives me at the end 20? Okay, if I say to you that x is 3, that is going to make x cubed what? Is going to make it what? 27, right? So 27 minus what is going to give you the 20? Minus 7. So y is 7. Okay, in this case, I made x positive, I used x positive, and I used y positive. And when I substituted, I found that the answer is positive 20. Let's continue here with question B. It says to you that x and y are both negative numbers. Mister, I'm going to substitute for x anything. Let's say x is negative 2. They wanted x to be negative, so I must use x as negative. I'm going to assume that it's negative 2. Someone might choose a Mr. negative 3. No problem at all. You can choose negative 3, but follow the same technique. So negative, if I remove, substitute x and I write negative 2, let's do it. X is going to be negative 2, so x cubed is going to be negative 8. Minus, they said y is negative, so it must be minus negative something. Oh, which means equals 20 at the end of the set. So, Mister, you mean here negative 8 plus something will give me 20? Okay. Let's say here plus y. So, negative 8, we agree the y is negative. Okay. Y is negative, but minus negative will turn into positive. So, what is the number that I should put here in order to become 20? The answer, yes, you must put here 28 so that when you say negative 8 plus 28 will give you positive 20, the sign of the bigger number. So this y is actually negative 28. So as if you're saying here, negative 8 minus negative 28, which will make it negative 8 plus 28, which is positive 20. All right. The next one over here, let me just first erase this. Is positive and y is negative, or vice versa, which means one of them must be positive and the other is negative. I'm going to assume that x is positive. X is, let's say 2, for example. What is 2 cubed? 2 cubed is going to be 8 minus, we agree that y in this case must be negative because they said one is positive, the other is negative. So y in this case must be negative. So minus negative what? This will turn into positive, and the answer must be 20. This will turn into 8 plus something is 20. 12 semester. Exactly. So y is negative 12. In this case, 8 minus negative 12 will turn into 8 plus 12, which is positive 20. Good? That's it. Okay. The next question, let's erase this. It says to you, when w is 3, x is 2, y is -4, and z is -2. So here, I'm going to do first in the brackets w plus x, which is 5, 3 plus 2, 5 times 3 is 15. Here, 2w means a 6. I'm going to finish first what's inside the brackets. 6 minus y, which is -4, minus -4. And you multiply by x, which is 2. So 2 multiplied by 6 plus 4, which is going to be 2 times 10, which is 20. Z times 2w minus y. Z is -2. So -2 multiplied by 2w, which is 6, minus y, which is minus -4. So -2 multiplied by 6 plus 4, which is 10. So it's going to be equal to -20. W minus z cubed. So it's w, which is 3, minus -8, because -2 cubed is -8, which is going to be equal to 3 plus 8, 11. X squared, which is 4, plus z squared, which is 4 as well. -2 squared is +4, is going to give us 8. 2 times z all cubed. 2 times -2, which is -4, all cubed equals -64. We agree the cube keeps the sign the same. X over 2, which means 2 divided by 2, which is 1, minus y over 4, which is -4 over 4, which is -1, gives us 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. Wx means the 3 times 2, which is 6, over z, so 6 over -2, which is -3. I'm doing it fast because, and I'm doing it here because I don't have also enough space. So I'm trying to use kind of like shortcuts. Don't do this, please. Just try the steps. W times X, it means 3 times 2, which is 6. You just write it above at the top over here in the numerator, over Z, which is -2. So it's just -3. So -3 plus Y, which is plus -4, equals -3 minus 4, -7. The positive negative would turn into negative. Here, 2 multiplied by x cubed, which is 8, minus z cubed, z squared, which is -2 squared. So it's going to become 4. So you're going to find that it's 8 minus 4, which is times 4, equals 8. Here, 20 minus 2 multiplied by w squared. So 2 multiplied by w squared is going to be what? W squared is 9. 3 squared, which is 9, times 2 is 18. Going to give us 2. 20 minus 18, which is 2. W, which is 3, plus z, which is -2, multiplied by 3x, which is 6, minus 2y, which is going to be -2 multiplied by -4 is +8. Or you're going to find minus -8, which is also +8, equals, here we agree the W is 3, so it's 3 plus -2 times 14, which is -28. 3 minus positive negative, it means minus, so 3 minus 28 is -25. -25. Good? The last question over here, 3 multiplied by z. 3 multiplied by z is going to become what? Z is -2, so it's -6. But -6 is squared, so it is 36, minus x to the power of 5, which means 2 to the power of 5, which means 32, equals 4. This is part of Sasha's homework. Use a counterexample to show that the statement of 3x squared is equal to 3x squared, all squared, is not true. The answer, she just used what? Let X be 3. So that's how she used the counterexample. Counterexample means kind of like use an example to show that this is not true. So when she substituted an X with 3, so it's 3 multiplied by 9, she said, which is 27. But here she said 3 times 3, which is 9 squared, is 81. She showed that this is 81. She showed that this is 27. And that's how she used the counterexample to show that this is not true. She substituted for X is 3 here, X is 3 there. She showed that this is not true. They are not equal. Here they want to use counterexamples to show that these are also not true. So I'm going to replace X and write, for example, let's say uh, anything that you want. 2. Let's assume that X is 2. So in A, X is 2. Let's do it. So it's 10 multiplied by 2 squared is 4, 40. While the other one over here, 10 times 2 is 20, squared is 400. So now I used the counterexample, which is substituting for X with 2. It showed that these are not equal. The other one over here, I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use also Y equals 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 cubed is going to become 64. While 2 multiplied by 2 cubed is 8. So 2 times 2 cubed is 8, which is giving me 16. So yes, they are not equal. They just wanted to show that they are not equal, that this is not true. The last one, if I replace X with 2 and Y with 2, or whatever you want, you can choose any other numbers. It's up to you. They just told you that X is not 0, Y is not 0. Good. So here, 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. Minus 3 times 2 is negative 6. So this is 0. Okay, so replacing X by 2 and replacing Y with 2, that led us to 0. While in doing this here, 3 multiplied by 2 minus 2, which is going to give us 2 minus 2 is going to be 0. And it led us to here also 0, which is not going to be actually the case in other examples, because here multiplying by 2, it led us to 0. Here, 2 minus 2 is 0. But if I use, this is 2 and this is 3, all right, here let's say that X is 1 and Y is 2, for example. So if X is 1, so 3 times 1 is 3, and Y is 2, so negative 3 or minus 3 times 2 is 6, so minus 6, which is going to be equal to negative 3. But if I do it here and I say X is 1 and Y is 2, so it's going to be here 3 times if X is 1 and Y is 2. So 2 minus 1 is just 1. So 3 times 1, which is 3. They are not equal. This led us to negative 3, while the other one led us to positive 3. So they are not the same. The next example here says to you, let's see, just I'm erasing this first. Here. Here are 2 expressions that you can use to estimate the mass in kilogram of a child aged between 1 and 5 years old. A is the age in years of the child. Okay, so here they want you to use expression 1 to estimate the mass in kilogram of a 4-year-old child. Then this means I'm going to replace A and write 4. So it is 5 times 4 over 2, then add to it 8. 5 times 4 is 20. So 20 over 2 is 10. Plus 8 equals 18. Next is B. B says to you Use expression 2 to estimate the mass in kilogram of a 3-year-old child. So I'm going to remove A and write 3. So it is 2 times A plus 4, which is 3 plus 4, which is 7, equals 14. The last one, they want you to do the same thing exactly here, but instead of A, you're going to replace in expression 1, this is for the answer for expression 1, you're going to remove A and write 1. So for example, 5 times 1 is 5, over 2 means 2.5. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. 2.5 plus 8 is 10.5, so 10.5. But in expression 2, I'm going to remove the A and write 1. So 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 times 2 is going to be 10. You move to the next. They want you to replace A and write 2. In expression 1, 5 times 2 is 10. They want 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. While 2 plus 4 is 6. In the other exact expression, expression 2, 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. And so on with 3, 4, 5. You get the 3 in expression 1, substitute for A is 3. In expression 2, substitute A with 3, and put the answers here for expression 1, the answer here for expression 2, and so on with 4 and 5. Question D. Fossil is 3 years old and has a mass of 13.5 kilogram. Which expression would give the best estimate for his mass? So I need to take fossil's age, which is 3, and I substitute here. So in expression 1, 3 times 5 is 15, divided by 2 is 7.5. 7.5 plus 8 is 15.5. That's from expression 1. When I substituted with the age 3 years old in expression 1, it led me to a mass of, that's expression 1, it led me to a mass of 15.5. Let's see expression 2. 3, they said 3 years old, so 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 times 2 is going to be 14. So 14 is expression 2. Which one is closer to his actual mass? Expression 2 is closer. So which expression? It's expression 2. Explain your answer. You're just going to do a substitution of 3 years old in expression 1, substitution of 3 years old in expression 2, and you see which one is closer. Question 11. When x is 3, so I'm going to do here 5. Let's draw a line and use a different color here. So here it's 5 multiplied by x is 3, so 125 minus 5. Okay, sorry, minus 3. Why did I say I act as if it's 5? X is 3, so 3 cubed. So 5 times 3 cubed, which is 27, minus 3. So it is 5 times 27 minus 3 is 24. Good? Plus 5 times x squared. X squared is 9, and 3 squared is 9. So 5 times 9 is 45 over 3 minus 12 times x, which means 12 times 3, which is 36. Now let's simplify it. 5 times 24 is 120 plus 45 over 3 is 15 minus 36 equals 135 minus 36. So I'm adding and subtracting. 120 and 15 is 135. Minus 36 is going to be 99 exactly. Next question. And let me erase this first. Use the space for question B. Question B says 3 times y when y is 4. So it is 12, Mister. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 16 is 28. So I'm going to write 28 over 4 plus y over 2, which means 4 divided by 2, which means 2. 2 to the power of 4. 2 to the power of 4. So as I agreed, 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 to the power of 4 is 16 minus 20 over y, which means 20 divided by 4, which means 5, equals 7 plus 16 minus 5, which is 23 minus 5, which is going to give you 18. I guess this is the last question. Yes, it is the last question. Here, they want you to show that this is the same as this when C equals 5 and D equals -3. So I'm going to remove the C in this section. I'm going to divide the page into two parts. One part for this when C is 5 and D is -3. And the other part is for this when C is 5 and D is -3. The answers at the end must be the same. So I'm going to multiply 4 times D squared, which is 9. -3 squared is 9, minus 100 divided by 25. 100 over 25 minus 3 times C times D. 3 times C is 15. 15 times -3 is going to give you -45. Then minus C, which is 5, multiplied by C minus D, which means which means 5 minus -3. 5 minus -3 is 5 plus 3, which means 8. Let's simplify. 4 times 9 is 36. Minus 100 over 25 is 4. Minus -45 means plus 45. -5 times 8 is -40. Equals, now we just do the addition normally. 36 minus 40, 32. 32 plus 45 is going to become 77. 77 minus 40 is 37. Okay? Next, if I have d cubed and d is -3, so d cubed is, let me erase this line not to get confused. I didn't mean that big line, but anyway. D cubed when d is -3, so it is -27 plus 8c when c is 5, it means 40 over c plus d. C plus d is going to become 5 plus -3, which is 5 minus 3, which is 2. But 2 squared is 4 plus 3c. When c is 5, it gives you 15, I mean. 3 times 5 is 15 over d, which is -3, all squared, minus -4 minus c squared. C squared is going to become 25. So -4 minus 25 is going to be -25. -4, sorry. -4 minus 25 is -29. We're going to add them. -29 equals, here is -27 as it is. Here plus 10. Here 15 over -3 is -5, but -5 squared is positive 25. So -5 squared positive 25, so it is plus 25. Good? Minus -29 is positive 29. Minus negative is positive, so 29 stays the same. Now add and subtract normally. -27 plus 10 is -17. -17 plus 25 is positive 8. Positive 8 plus 29 is 37. Positive 37. They are the same answer. Look at this. So they are equal. That's it. Thank you so much and see you in another video.